There is something off with Erika Kirk. What she is wearing seems a bit inappropriate to mourn your husband, who was literally taken out for the entire world to see. This woman is not grieving anything. She skipped straight to acceptance. This is most definitely PR, and they're using your grief for marketing. And the fact that Charlie Kirk's assassination is still being covered up, she is still walking around with the same security from September 10th, saying she's so excited for the new content that she'll be releasing. Isn't it strange how a widow stepped into the CEO role? She did 3 speeches already, one at a stadium. Charlie's family didn't even speak, and she's selling t-shirts, and is already hosting her husband's podcast, now doing an all-American halftime show with performers. She's not even home with her 2 young children who just lost their dad.
Tonight's episode opens with a whisper that won't stay quiet. Online chatter says Joe Rogan just hinted that Erika Kirk may have told Charlie's parents something different from what the public heard. We're not saying it happened. We're covering what's being said, what's trending, and why fans are shocked. The rumor mill is spinning fast. Clips, posts, and late-night spaces are painting a picture of hushed meetings, tense phone calls, and a family caught between grief and headlines. Emotions ran high as creators dissected every frame from the memorial, every word from the podcast, and every silence in between. Some claim a private assurance was given to the parents that doesn't match the official mood music. Others insist this is pure speculation. The family was left divided, say commenters, between keeping peace and demanding clarity. Meanwhile, viewers swear the timeline feels off, that tiny gaps keep widening into gaping questions. Did Joe really hear something? Or is the internet hearing what it wants to hear? We'll unpack the claims, the counters, and the pressure building behind closed doors. Because tonight isn't about certainty. It's about why so many people believe there's more to the story.
You should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country. In this world, you have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have.
Story than what made the stage. Buckle up. This is commentary, and the internet is on fire. Started quietly, the way most storms do. A single podcast clip surfaced late at night. Joe Rogan's familiar voice echoing through a dim studio, his tone heavier than usual. He didn't name names at first, but within minutes, everyone online knew who he was talking about. Erika Kirk, Charlie's widow, the woman who had somehow become both a symbol of strength and a magnet for controversy. Joe's words weren't accusations, they were questions. Sharp, careful, and loaded with the kind of curiosity that makes fans lean forward. He said something didn't add up, that he'd heard conflicting things about what was told to Charlie's parents after the tragedy. And that one sentence was enough to send the internet into chaos. Within hours, hashtags exploded across every platform. Fans clipped the segment, slowed it down, analyzed every syllable like detectives in a crime drama. Some thought Joe was hinting at a deeper cover story. Others said he was simply pointing out inconsistencies. Still, the conversation took a life of its own. People began pulling together timelines, screenshots of Erika's statements, even archived footage from interviews she did before the memorial. Online creators stitched together threads claiming there was tension between Erika and Charlie's family that no one had noticed before. Theories multiplied. Some said Erika had told Charlie's parents that the investigation was nearly over, that justice was within reach. Others claimed she told them something more personal, that Charlie had been planning to leave Turning Point before everything happened. Neither claim was proven, but in the world of digital drama, proof often comes second to feeling, and the feeling online was electric. The family's silence only fueled the storm. Charlie's parents hadn't made a single public comment since the day of the memorial. No interviews, no statements, nothing. And as the silence stretched on, the internet filled it with its own answers. Meanwhile, Erika's behavior became a daily topic. Fans noticed she kept appearing at events, smiling, speaking, commanding attention with perfect composure. Some saw it as strength. Others said it felt rehearsed. "She's not mourning," one commenter wrote. "She's managing." Another added, "Grief doesn't look like that." But there were supporters too, defending her with passion, saying the world was cruel to women who grieve differently. The divide was sharp, the debate relentless. Then, a new clip surfaced from a private dinner held days after the memorial. It showed Erika with several board members, laughing, discussing upcoming projects. Nothing scandalous, but the timing felt strange to many. The internet didn't need context, it just needed content. People began connecting dots that might not even exist. One thread claimed Erika was consolidating power, another said she was simply trying to keep Charlie's legacy alive. No one knew for sure, but everyone had an opinion. Joe's next episode only added fuel to the fire. He admitted he'd been getting messages from people close to the situation. He didn't name them, but he said their stories conflicted with what the public had been told. "There's something the family knows that the world doesn't," he said, almost whispering. The comment hit like a spark in dry grass. Overnight, conspiracy forums filled with speculation. People claimed to have insider screenshots, alleged messages, even supposed recordings, none verified, all sensational. Charlie's closest friends tried to calm things down, posting tributes focused on his work rather than the drama. But every time someone tried to steer the narrative toward healing, a new rumor emerged. One day, it was about Erika's alleged meeting with a high-profile donor. The next, it was about a supposed argument between her and Charlie's parents over the use of his image in a new campaign. These stories couldn't be confirmed, but the way they spread made it feel like the truth no longer mattered. One evening, a short clip from a body language analyst went viral. She paused Erika's memorial speech frame by frame, pointing out what she called micro-expressions of control. She said Erika's smile was calculated, her tone too even, her gestures deliberate. Millions watched, shared, debated. Others mocked the analysis, calling it cruel to judge someone's grief through a screen. Yet by morning, the clip had crossed platforms, becoming a headline in itself. The most surprising twist came from an unexpected voice, Candace Owens. She joined the conversation, posting a cryptic message suggesting she'd seen similar inconsistencies and urging people to stay alert. She didn't clarify what she meant, but it didn't matter. Her post reignited everything. Suddenly, the story wasn't just about a grieving widow and a family in pain. It became a battlefield for influencers, each claiming their version of the truth. As the dust settled, one question echoed through every comment section, every video reaction, every podcast rant. What exactly did Erika tell Charlie's parents? Nobody could answer it, and yet everyone felt entitled to guess. Fans created timelines showing alleged moments of tension between them, piecing together snippets from public appearances, tone changes in her speeches, even the distance between their chairs at a fundraiser years ago. The obsession grew daily, consuming feeds and comment threads until it stopped feeling like a story and started feeling like a shared fixation. Through it all, Erika remained mostly silent. She posted once, a simple image of a sunrise with the caption, "Truth needs no defense." To some, it was defiant. To others, it was tone-deaf. But to everyone, it was fuel. It became another piece of the puzzle that no one could stop trying to solve. And as Joe Rogan's words echoed across platforms, fans began to wonder. Was he just voicing suspicion, or had he stumbled into something the public wasn't supposed to see? The morning after Joe's second podcast dropped, timelines were chaos. Posts multiplied by the hour, each one more dramatic than the last. Fans clipped fragments of Joe's show, looping his pauses, his tone, the slight emphasis when he said the words, "The parents were told something else." No context, just speculation. Every influencer with a microphone wanted a piece of it. Reaction videos flooded the internet. Some were whisper-soft, treating the matter like a sacred secret. Others were loud, almost gleeful, framing it as the next big scandal. Everyone had an angle. Scandal. Everyone had an angle. One user claimed they'd spoken to someone close to Charlie's family. The post read like a confession, describing a tense phone call between Erika and Charlie's mother. Allegedly, Erika had said, "Please trust me. There are things I can't tell you yet." Again, no proof, just a screenshot of text on a black background. But it spread like wildfire. That one phrase, "There are things I can't tell you yet," became a rallying cry for those who believed the family was being kept in the dark. Talk shows jumped on the trend. One panel debated whether Joe was being reckless or righteous. Another spent 20 minutes breaking down Erika's public appearances since Charlie's death. They replayed clips of her accepting the Presidential Medal of Freedom, her voice steady, her eyes dry. One host said, "You can't judge grief, but the optics are strange." Another countered, "Maybe she's just strong." But it was too late. The seed of suspicion had already taken root. In private group chats, the story got darker. Unverified claims began linking Erika's rise within Turning Point to pressure from high-level donors. Some said her leadership had been planned months before Charlie's death. Others said Charlie had been thinking of stepping back. Each version contradicted the last, but that didn't matter. What mattered was the drama. The more unbelievable the story, the more people wanted to believe it. Then came a video that changed the tone completely. It wasn't a polished production or a news segment, just a shaky phone recording of an older man who claimed to be one of Charlie's family friends. In the clip, he spoke softly, saying, "The parents aren't saying anything because they don't recognize what's being told publicly." His words hit hard. He didn't elaborate, but the emotion in his voice gave it credibility. Within hours, the clip went viral. The internet had found a new piece to cling to. Erika's team responded for the first time. A short statement appeared on her social media account. "Rumors can't heal pain. We're focused on honoring Charlie's mission." The statement was polite, controlled, professional, and completely ineffective. It only made people more certain that something was being hidden. The calm tone, the lack of direct denial, it all fueled more conspiracy theories. Fans started comparing her phrasing to old crisis statements from politicians and celebrities. Everything she did was dissected like evidence. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan doubled down. In another clip, he said, "Look, I'm not saying I know what happened, but when a story doesn't line up, people have the right to ask questions." That line became a mantra across social media. People quoted it in captions, made it their bios, printed it on t-shirts. The conversation had grown beyond Erika or Charlie. It was now about truth itself, about who gets to own it. Candace Owens jumped back into the chaos, this time directly tagging Joe. She wrote, "You're not crazy for asking questions. You're crazy if you stop." Her comment section exploded. Supporters called her brave. Critics accused her of exploiting tragedy. Either way, the algorithm loved it. Clips from her shows and Joe's episodes began circulating together, edited with dramatic music, red circles, and whispered narration. But amid all the noise, a quieter story began to surface, one that made things even more complicated. Someone leaked what they claimed was a draft of a letter written by Charlie's parents to the Turning Point board. The letter, if real, hinted at frustration with how decisions were being made in their son's name. It mentioned miscommunication and restricted access. Again, nothing verified, but the emotional weight was enough to convince thousands that it must be real. Reporters tried to reach out to the family for clarification, but every attempt was met with silence. No interviews, no statements, no denials, just silence. And the longer they stayed quiet, the louder everyone else got. Commentators started treating the parents like mythical figures, guardians of a secret truth. The narrative shifted from gossip to mystery, from curiosity to obsession. One particularly viral post claimed that Charlie's father had attended a private dinner with Erika weeks before the memorial, and that the two argued about how his image would be used for future events. It quoted an anonymous source who said voices were raised and that Erika left the dinner early. Again, no confirmation, but the story was cinematic, emotional, and perfect for clicks. Soon, creators were reenacting the scene with dramatic voiceovers and sad music. It didn't matter that no one knew if it had ever happened. It felt real enough. And through it all, Joe Rogan kept his distance, never confirming, never denying, just letting the conversation swirl. His subtle restraint gave the story even more power. Fans interpreted every word, every smirk, every sigh. By now, the internet wasn't just discussing what Erika had allegedly told the parents. It was building an entire mythology around it. And somewhere in the background, between the trending hashtags and the endless threads, real people were still grieving. But grief doesn't trend for long. The narrative had become bigger than the truth, and no one seemed ready to let go. By the next weekend, the story had transformed from rumor to full-blown internet spectacle. What began as quiet speculation on Joe Rogan's podcast had turned into a digital wildfire that refused to burn out. Talk shows, gossip channels, even political commentators were chiming in, each spinning the story in their own direction. One channel claimed Erika had given Charlie's parents private assurances that conflicted with the public investigation timeline. Another said the family was warned not to talk at all. No one could prove a thing. But that didn't stop anyone from acting like they could. The most viral clip of the week came from a live broadcast outside Turning Point's headquarters. The reporters stood in front of the building as protesters held up signs reading, "Tell the parents the truth," and "Justice for Charlie." The whole thing looked theatrical. People chanting, drones circling, influencers live streaming for content. It wasn't even clear what they wanted. The demands were based on half-heard podcast lines and online interpretations. Still, the footage racked up millions of views. In one frame, a young woman shouted into a megaphone, "If Joe heard something, then the parents deserve to know." Her voice cracked mid-sentence, and that emotional moment became the thumbnail for hundreds of reaction videos. Inside the chaos, a new character emerged, a man claiming to have worked security at the memorial. In a viral interview, he alleged that he overheard an argument between Erika and one of Charlie's uncles backstage. It wasn't grief, he said. It was control. No one could verify the man's identity, but his story had everything an audience wanted. tension, betrayal, mystery. Within hours, the clip had been remixed into dramatic montages with slow music and red filters. The online detectives went deeper. They found footage from the medal ceremony where Erika accepted the award and slowed it down frame by frame. One user claimed that Charlie's mother looked away when Erika took the stage. Another said the father didn't clap right away. People started reading body language like scripture. "They're uncomfortable," someone wrote. "They know more than they can say." What used to be sympathy had now become suspicion. Amid all this, Erika finally broke her silence in a podcast appearance. Her voice was calm, her tone composed, but her words carried a hint of exhaustion. "I'm aware of what's being said," she told the host. "People will always look for drama when they don't understand grief. The truth is simple. Charlie's parents and I are in communication. Everything else is noise." It should have ended the conversation, but it only made things worse. Critics pounced on her phrasing. What did incommunication mean? Why not show it? Why not appear together publicly? The more measured she sounded, the guiltier she seemed to those who had already decided she was hiding something. Candace Owens released another video that same day, saying the timing of Erika's response was interesting. She implied that Erika was trying to redirect attention just as new inconsistencies were surfacing. The new inconsistencies turned out to be screenshots of an email allegedly sent from Erika's team to the board about restructuring Charlie's brand image. Again, no confirmation, but the implication was juicy enough. Fans flooded comment sections saying this was proof she cared more about optics than mourning. Joe Rogan remained relatively quiet, but clips of his earlier episodes continued circulating like echoes. Fans captioned them with phrases like, "Joe warned us," and "he saw it coming." It didn't matter that Joe had never made a direct accusation. The internet had already cast him as the reluctant truth-teller in a real-life thriller. Every old clip of him talking about corruption or media control was now being reinterpreted through this new lens. Behind the scenes, insiders began whispering about how all this speculation was affecting the family. One close acquaintance of Charlie's parents told a small outlet that the couple had stopped attending public gatherings altogether. "They feel like they're living inside a circus," the source said. "Every word they say gets twisted." That line struck a nerve. For the first time, even some of the loudest voices online began questioning if things had gone too far. But the drama was far from over. A leaked video appeared late one night showing what looked like Erika entering a private meeting with Turning Point executives and a major donor. It wasn't incriminating, just them greeting one another. But viewers decided it was evidence that something was being orchestrated behind the scenes. Threads exploded with theories about a hidden agenda to steer Charlie's legacy toward political messaging he might not have supported. "This is what Joe was talking about," one commenter wrote. "The strings being pulled." Story hit a fever pitch when a supposed journalist claimed to have emails proving that Charlie's parents were given different information about the investigation's progress. The journalist promised to release the evidence soon, but never did. Still, the headline, "Sources claim conflicting updates given to family," was enough to dominate the feeds for 2 days. Clips of emotional fans saying they deserve the truth were everywhere. It didn't matter that there was no proof. The narrative had escaped control. Meanwhile, Erika's social media pages became battlegrounds. Every post she made, even those unrelated to Charlie, flooded with comments asking about what Joe said. One day, she posted a photo of her children with a caption about healing. The comments section turned into a debate about morality and manipulation. Supporters told her to stay strong, while critics accused her of using her kids to soften public perception. Every move she made fed both sides of the argument. The energy online was manic, like a show that refused to end. People no longer discussed Charlie's death. They dissected Erika's motives, her clothes, her expressions, her pauses, and in the middle of it all, Joe Rogan's quiet skepticism hung in the air like static. He hadn't said much since that first episode, but his shadow lingered over every conversation. His name became a stamp of credibility. If Joe noticed something, fans said, it must mean there's something to notice. And as the dust settled for the night, a single question still pulsed through the noise. What exactly did Erika tell Charlie's parents that no one else was supposed to hear? The answer remained invisible, buried under layers of conjecture, emotion, and obsession. Yet it was the only thing keeping millions glued to their screens, waiting for the next twist. By the time the 4th week rolled around, the entire saga had turned into something no one could fully control. What started as a conversation about grief and unanswered questions had become a nationwide fixation. Podcasts, news panels, and gossip pages all blurred together into one echoing chorus, repeating the same burning question. What did Erika Kirk really tell Charlie's parents? And did Joe Rogan's words accidentally expose something bigger than anyone realized? The story wasn't just about Erika anymore. It had become a mirror for every frustration people had with secrecy, power, and influence. There were those who saw her as a calculated figure playing a careful game, and others who viewed her as a woman trapped in a narrative she couldn't escape. Her face was everywhere. Edited thumbnails, split-screen debates, viral shorts where creators whispered theories over suspenseful music. Each video started the same way. A dramatic pause, then the words, "Joe Rogan said something that changed everything." As the obsession grew, an anonymous account began posting what it called leaked voice notes, allegedly from someone close to Charlie's family. In them, a woman's voice talked about being misled and finding out through the media. Whether real or fabricated, the clips spread faster than anything before. Reaction videos hit millions of views overnight. Fans claimed the tone matched Charlie's mother's public appearances from years earlier. Skeptics dismissed it as AI generated, but that didn't slow it down. The mystery was too addictive. In the middle of the storm, Erika appeared at another public event, a charity dinner in honor of fallen veterans. She walked on stage in a dark blue dress, smiled at the cameras, and delivered a calm, rehearsed speech about resilience and hope. But the internet didn't care about her message. They cared about the brief moment before she started speaking, when she seemed to glance toward the audience and take a long, shaky breath. Someone zoomed in on that half second and captioned it, "She's cracking." It went viral instantly. Behind the scenes, reports began to surface that Turning Point's board was under internal pressure. A leaked memo showed that several longtime donors wanted a transparent audit of leadership decisions. No names were mentioned, but people online assumed it was about Erika. More creators jumped in, making 10-minute videos connecting dots between donations, speaking fees, and alleged backroom deals. Nobody could verify any of it, but every new connection drew more attention. It didn't matter if the lines were imaginary. The spectacle had become the truth. Joe Rogan finally addressed the chaos during a live Q&A session. His voice was calm but firm. "I never said anyone did anything wrong," he clarified. "I just asked why the timelines didn't match. I'm not accusing, I'm observing." But his attempt to dial things down only made fans dig deeper. "He's walking it back," one commenter wrote. "That means there's something real." Joe's neutrality became a new conspiracy theory in itself. Candace Owens posted a response the same night, saying, "Sometimes backing off means you've seen too much." It was a perfect storm, the kind of drama that thrives on ambiguity. Nobody wanted closure. They wanted the feeling of uncovering something forbidden. Videos began labeling the situation as the Kirk Chronicles. People started editing cinematic montages of Charlie and Erika, complete with tragic music and ominous text about truth and legacy. A week later, a reporter released a long investigative article claiming to have spoken with members of Charlie's extended family. The piece didn't reveal anything conclusive, but described strained communication and misunderstandings fueled by online noise. It quoted one relative saying, "We're grieving two things, the loss of our son and the loss of peace." For a brief moment, the internet seemed to pause. Comment sections filled with regretful posts about how out of hand everything had become. But the calm didn't last. Within 24 hours, a new rumor broke that Erika's upcoming event was being backed by one of the same donors connected to the leaked memo. The outrage reignited immediately. Meanwhile, smaller creators began turning on each other. Some accused others of fabricating evidence for views. Others claimed to have inside contacts, ready to expose the full truth. Entire online friendships fractured under the weight of speculation. What once felt like collective curiosity had devolved into digital warfare. Every day, a new clip, a new claim, a new twist. It wasn't even about Charlie anymore. It was about the performance of knowing. And through it all, Erika remained steady in public. Her final public statement before disappearing from social media was short. When you live your truth, noise becomes background. It was simple, but its timing, posted minutes after another Joe Rogan clip trended, made it feel intentional. Was it defiance or exhaustion? No one could tell. Joe didn't respond. Neither did Charlie's parents. The silence that followed was deafening. In the days after, creators began to realize the story had nowhere left to go. No new evidence, no new leaks, just recycled outrage. Slowly, attention drifted. Another celebrity scandal took over the headlines. Hashtags faded. Algorithms moved on. But the questions never really disappeared. They just lingered in the corners of late-night forums and quiet podcast threads. Even now, some fans still insist there was more to the story. that Joe Rogan's curiosity brushed against something real, something too delicate for public light. Others say the whole thing was a mirror, reflecting how easily a rumor can become a belief when enough people whisper it at once. Somewhere between those two sides lies the truth. But like most truths born online, it's buried under so many voices that it may never be heard again. And that's where we're left tonight, staring at a story that refuses to give us answers. What really happened between Erika Kirk and Charlie's parents? Was it a misunderstanding? A moment lost in grief? Or something bigger that still hasn't surfaced? We may never know for sure. What we do know is how fast whispers can become headlines. How easily a quiet moment can turn into a global storm. Joe Rogan's words lit a match, and the internet built the fire. Fans are still split. Some believe Erika is being unfairly judged, that she's doing her best to keep Charlie's legacy alive, while the world picks apart her every move. Others are convinced there's something deeper, an unspoken truth only a few people in the room will ever understand. The parents have stayed silent. Joe has moved on, and Erika's name still trends every few days. It's the kind of story that lingers, haunting timelines long after the cameras stop rolling. But what do you think? Was this all a misunderstanding? Or are people finally noticing the cracks in the perfect picture? Tell us in the comments. We want to hear your take. And if you've been following this drama from the start, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dive breakdowns, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next twist. Because if there's one thing we've learned from this story, it's that silence doesn't end speculation. It only makes it louder.